Hello and welcome to the number 52 Tuesdays. I believe it's number 52, broadcasting live from Horseshoe Valley, Ontario. They're about an hour and a half north of Toronto. I welcome my global audience each week. Tuesdays at 2, I get a global audience. Please ask some questions, anything to do with career management. Today's topic is 5 top tips to manage your career. But who am I? My name is Martin Buckland, and I'm an practitioner. So, in essence, I manage and advance the careers of senior executives and those who aspire to be managing and advancing the careers of EMBA, so Executive Master of Business Administration, and a global expert in mining professionals, all levels from top to bottom. So it's a great pleasure to be here for episode number 52, where we're going to be talking about my 5 top tips to manage your career. Now, 5 really isn't enough. When I was coming to think about this Tuesdays at 2, I could just go on and on and on. There are many, many tips. There are many tips available on my YouTube channel. So go to my YouTube channel, type in my name, Martin Buckland. Please press the subscribe button where you will find a wealth of further knowledge, many other tips on job search, but not just related to managing your career, job search, resumes, CVs, personal branding, the list goes on and on and on. So I'm really passionate about helping my clients across the world, doesn't matter, country boundaries in my office, help them manage and advance their careers. So please have some questions, have to be related to today's topic. So let's preface this. Opinion, career management is just as important as financial management. So look at it the other way. If you manage your career and you are in career transition for a minimal amount of time, you earn more money. You're also more happy. You can advance your career faster and earn more money. You can retire early. Makes sense, eh? So let's go straight into the topic. Take responsibility for managing your career. Those that don't, and I've been in business now 26 years, I've worked with thousands and thousands of people. I've met people. Those people who don't embrace career management, A, don't earn the amount of money that they should. You each have a value. We'll talk about that as Tuesday at 2 unfolds. You each have a value. They earn more money. They're happier. They are in career transition less, and they're more prepared. Now, we all can relate to about 50 years ago when COVID first started. Millions across the world were terminated, and it came as a complete surprise. But those that were ready were managing their career, surprisingly enough, got back to work a lot faster. So if you take nothing else from this Tuesdays at 2, please embrace career management. It's very, very important. Therefore, you can be happier because you take your work home, or you take your work to the other right now. So most of you are working from home. You'll be going back to work in the next 9, 10 months, year or so. So manage your career. Stay focused. Stay on this podcast, because I will give you one extra tip at the end. So it's a big step. It's attitude. You have to have the mental attitude and the ambition, the drive, the determination. It's all about time management. So the more you manage your career while you're gainfully employed, the better it's going to be for you when you come into career transition, because tomorrow you could be terminated. Any day you could be terminated. In my view, as a professional career management practitioner, every job is temporary. It's not full time, it's temporary. So, number one, take responsibility for your career management. Number two, network. Now, I'm regarded as a fierce networker. There's no holes barred. Unfortunately, I cannot do it in person right now, but I'm looking forward to that opportunity of getting back into the networking environment in person. But that hasn't stopped me from networking online. The more you network, and remember, each person you meet has an extensive network. Networking is not just about taking, it's about giving. That is very, very important. When you give, you get in return. So think about networking online. Networking is very, very important. Never, ever stop networking. Never. That's a good topic to embrace. I know it's tough for some people, but if you are an introvert, buddy with someone, or start your old network and build. Look at people you've networked with many years ago, ex-colleagues, ex-bosses. They all have a network, and they all will be able to help you. If you put on a good case, they'll be able to generate some leads and help you with your career management. Even if you're 40, even if you're 50, even if you're 60, you can start managing your career today after this Tuesdays at 2. So network online, and hopefully very soon you will be able to network in person. Number 3, you are never too old to learn. I love learning. I'm always taking extra certifications. I love also sharing my knowledge. You need to learn. One of the red flags when executive recruiters or HR professionals are sourcing talent is when was your last course, your last diploma, your last certificate, your last degree? The list goes on and on. Always put your hand up. If your boss says, would you like to, Mr. Buckland, go on a course, this course? Say yes, because you are going to learn. Plus, you are going to strengthen and increase your network. So there's twofold. Really learn and network. You are never, ever too old to learn. Number 4, be aware of who you are. Everyone on this planet is different. Each viewer has their own promise of value. Basically, in a nutshell, that is your competitive edge. It's your personal brand. Personal brand is not a trend. It's a fact. You are a brand. You need to market and sell that brand. You are a product. What does that product look like? Make it look seductive. People will buy you. You are a salesperson. If you go into career transition or you are managing your career and want to go up the ladder, you are not an engineer. You are not a supply chain person. You are a salesperson. So look at selling yourself. Get into that mode and think you are the most wonderful person available for hire right now. The more positivity you exude and express, the more opportunities will come your way. Yes, career management is difficult. It's time consuming, but it is well worth it. So number 4 is be aware of who you are. Who are you? If I ask you a question today, well, Joe, who are you? What will you answer? You don't want to fumble. You want to really rattle it off of your tongue. So it's your personal brand, your value, your competitive edge. Give me a compelling statement why I should call you over all the other candidates. Always manage your career. A good background to that at the back is to have career assessments. There's a whole worth of, they call them psychological assessments, and that tends to scare people. But they are career assessments. Invest in a few career assessments. You may have had them when you went through career transition. You probably learned a lot about yourself, negative and positive. Pack that positive into a package and sell that package. So be aware of who you are. Everybody watching today and on the repeat has a unique promise of value. Every one of you is special. Make sure you sell your specialty. Your personal brand is very, very important. It's not a trend, it's a fact of life. We all know about corporate brands. Now you are a personal brand. So be aware of who you are. Number 4. Number 5, be visible. It's no use you hiding in a closet. You need to get out there. You need to sell yourself. So use social media. In the last 20 or so years, social media has become the backbone of being able to tell a story, able to sell yourself with your profile on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, and other platforms. Never be shy about selling yourself, because right now, right this minute, as I'm speaking here in Canada, there are people looking for you right this minute, and you want to be found. You want to be visible. The more visible you are, it's pretty common sense, the more visible you are, the more opportunities will come your way. So be visible. LinkedIn, social media. If you have an industry related association, become a member. Become active in that in that industry related association. And if you consider yourself an expert and you are very comfortable, why don't you volunteer to speak at the industry related conferences, whether they be via Zoom, Teams, or any other virtual media platform, and hopefully very soon back in person. So be visible. LinkedIn, be on LinkedIn. If you aren't on LinkedIn, you are crucifying yourself. You are killing your career. So be visible. Social media and industry related associations, clubs, or whatever. Position yourself always as a number 1 candidate. You want a winner. You want to be considered a winner. You are a winner, but you need to get the right mental attitude to think you are a winner. Everyone watching this live and recorded is a winner. So let's come together with some questions. Anybody got any questions? Hi, William, how are you? Brian, I found hosting free webinars for your respective profession has been invaluable. So Brian says, I found hosting free webinars for your respective professional has been invaluable. Well, yeah, I just alluded to that. Yeah, amazing. So you are broadcasting within your own environment, your own audience, your own target market, exactly who you are. Brian has become quite a professional at that. I've watched him grow his career management over a number of years. And now Brian, I would say, is an expert in managing his career. I've given him some tips. We've worked together. But you know what? He's done it himself. He has embraced career management. So thanks for that. Yes, hosting free webinars are excellent. You can do them on Facebook. You can do them on a variety of platforms. Unfortunately, to get LinkedIn Live, you have to go through the mill to get LinkedIn Live. But you can have a YouTube channel. You can have all sorts of different platforms. So yeah, free webinars are the best. Anybody got any other questions before I give you the bonus? The number 6 in executive career management. I welcome any questions that you've got. Doesn't have to be related to today's topic. I am here to answer and answer your questions, share my wealth of knowledge accrued over 26 years. 26 years. I know a ton of stuff. I am here for you for free. Any other questions? That would be great if you ask some more questions. So always position yourself as a number one candidate. We don't hire number two candidates or number three. We only hire the gold medalist. No silver, no bronze. So think of yourself as a value. What is the value you will bring your next employer? Why should I employ you? You are never too old to learn. Network, network, network. Everyone you meet, whether it be online or in person, has a huge network, and generally people are willing to help you and share that network. So be visible, get out there, get your brand out there, sell yourself. Anybody got any other questions before we go on to the bonus? Okay, well, we're going to the bonus. Number 6, and it's very simple, and I speak about this each Tuesdays at 2. It's very simple. Have a current, not outdated, a current ATS resume or CV, and keep your LinkedIn profile up to date. I see so many LinkedIn profiles. They are 2 or 3, sometimes 3 jobs behind. Well, you're sending a very, very bad message instantly. There are executive recruiters and HR professionals looking on LinkedIn for you right this minute, your skill set. And by that, I mean, don't just have a basic profile, fill it right out. It's pageless. Scroll right down and fill it right out. There are many videos on my YouTube channel talking about LinkedIn, and there will be a couple more Tuesdays at 2 coming up talking about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is so important, but have your resume, your CV up to date and ATS friendly, applicant tracking system friendly. That is that scanning application. So I think I've got one more question. Arash. Thank you, Arash. Do you have any advice for startups in the field of engineering services? So his question once again from Arash Porjam, an EMBA, great. Good afternoon. Do you have any advice for startups in the field engineering services? Let me put on the screen here. Do I have any advice? Well, you have to have a lot of guts just to go into a startup environment. Hopefully you've got a shield. Because it's highly risky to go in a startup environment, especially in today's world where the global economy is a bit shaky. Once we come out of this so-called recession, the startups will come back in huge numbers, hopefully. But you have to embrace that risk, because startups, sadly, the percentile of startups of failing is huge. So make sure you've got a backbone, you've got a cushion of finance, because if it fails, you can't just walk straight back into the corporate environment, because the psychology is when somebody hires you next time around, if you go back into the corporate environment, is they're looking for people who are currently in that environment, not just gone into a startup environment, whether it be 3 months, 1 year, 2 years. But that's a great question. So yeah, you have to, an engineer, it doesn't matter what type of startup it is, they're all risky, but I do admire you, and I know, because I specialize in EMBAs, Executive Master of Business Administration, lots of EMBAs go into startups, and I can write a book on how successful many have been. But I can also tell stories on how some have been failures. So I admire your guts, your ambition, your attitude for going into a startup, but make sure you are on the right track. And if it does fail, and I'm a positive person, make sure that you have that cushion, that financial cushion. But you always learn a lot in startups because you are the jack of all trades. You are fulfilling maybe 3 or 4 jobs that would normally be in the corporate world. So make sure you study the environment. Don't just jump into a startup. Do a lot of due diligence before. So Arash has says, I've launched already and taken the risk of getting into this field. I really wholeheartedly support you. I really applaud you. That is a great step, but just be aware of the negatives attached to it as well. We all have to really be open and honest with ourselves. So Rash says, thank you. It's all on me as I am the principal and owner of the company, and I've considered a 2-year financial safety. Great. Well done, Arash. I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them on how I can help you. I do have worked a lot with people in startups. I've also worked a lot with people in various financing, so angel, PE, bank debt, all sorts of different financing. And of course, your business school, your business school, your EMBA program will also have hopefully a lot of contacts. Sharash, I've worked for a small firm, 200 million revenue for a decade. What suggestions would you offer for me now to be able to join a large corporation? That's a great question. So let's just repeat that one from Sharath. I've worked for a small firm, 200 million revenue for a decade. Great. Decade is far too long. What suggestions would you offer for me now to be able to join a large corporation, 10 billion revenue? Wow, that's a huge jump up in revenue. You will be fighting against, bearing in mind, when you go in a job search, doesn't matter where you are in the world and in what function, what industry, you are fighting with people who are already there. So you have to make yourself stand out, but it can be done. Now, when there's a lot of talent in the market, although it's reducing because we're hopefully bouncing off and ending the COVID situation, more and more people are going back to work. There is less competition, but you still have to make yourself highly competitive. So I would follow the companies that you want to work for. You must have a list of companies that you want to go and work for, and start networking within that environment at the 100 billion or the 10 billion plus, and select the person who will be your boss or your boss's boss. It comes back to networking. Networking will bring you value. If they like you, and then they may forward you to the hiring manager or to other people for consideration in vacant jobs. Because bearing in mind, doesn't matter where you are in the world, the bulk of jobs are hidden. They are not advertised on job boards. They're not with executive recruiters. They are hidden away in the background. So hopefully that's helped you. I would target market. Don't waste your time on job boards or through executive recruiters, because an executive recruiter will have a mandate to say that all the candidates that they place before their client in those particular companies at the many billion-dollar revenue will be in that function and that space, that revenue space already. So I would target market and I would network with the people who will be your boss or your boss's boss. Hopefully that can bring you value. Getting some good questions. I am job hunting and can't seem to get interviews. So let's repeat that. Tanisha, Forbes MBA. Great. Hi, Martin. I am job hunting and can't seem to get interviews. Wow. Now, that is a really open ended question. There could be so many different issues. It's like a jigsaw. A job search is like a jigsaw. One piece missing can count you out of a potential opportunity where you believe you are the perfect candidate. So I would make sure that your resume, your CV, is ATS friendly, applicant tracking system friendly. And while we're going through this, I'm going to type in my email. And you're perfectly welcome, and this applies to anybody, to send your resume for a free 30-minute, no obligation resume critique. And I will get in touch with you in the next week and we can have a conversation. I'm out of the office for the rest of the week, but I will have a conversation with you. The crux of this, if you don't have an ATS friendly resume, sadly, you're going to count yourself out of a job search, of potential opportunities. Are you embracing the full 100% job search wheel? So not just job boards. I'm not too sure which country you're in, but it's only a small percentile. Advertised jobs, small percentile. Executive recruiters, only a small percentile. The bulk of the jobs are hidden. So you need to use LinkedIn. I'd like to see the strength of your LinkedIn. I'm more than happy to give you a free, no obligation LinkedIn audit where I go through it from top to bottom because I'm here to help you. Now that is I could be here till definitely breakfast tomorrow morning talking about job search. There's so many cogs in the wheel. One cog that goes wrong can send you off here and you won't get any interest. Zero interest. You want to get the maximum interest. So I would suggest that you send me your resume for our CV for a free, no obligation 30-minute critique. We'll go through it together. I say it as it is, no holds barred, because as I say, you only get one kick of the can and one mistake, just one character wrong, one line wrong, one bullet wrong can count you out. Do you have all the keywords in your resume, your CV? All the keywords that I would search for. So if you're just searching on job boards, you're definitely, I can tell you, you're losing out on opportunities, lots of opportunities. Use that 100% job wheel. Go and hunt hidden jobs. And there are YouTube's videos on my YouTube channel. But if you go to my YouTube channel, please press the subscribe button and also the bell button where you will be notified of all the future videos coming up, and there's going to be many, many more. I'm passionate about helping you guys, the viewers today, the live viewers and the repeat viewers. I'm here for you. Anybody got any other questions? We've got some good questions here. If not, then I will wrap it up. Anybody? Yeah, let's no other questions. Remember, getting to the interview is just it's not the end stage. You've still got a long way to go. You need to impress, and the interview is a meeting of the minds. It's a two-way street. Ask questions as well. But you haven't got any interviews yet. But I know, I don't even know you. But I know there are jobs waiting for you right now. So think about managing your career. Let's wrap it up by 5 things to manage your career. Let's go through them right now. Number 1, take responsibility and manage your career. It's pretty damn simple. Take responsibility and managing your career. Number 2, network. Network online and in person. Never, ever stop networking. Each person you meet has their own network, and most people are willing to share that network. Number 3, you are never too old to learn. Always learn about yourself, but also learn a new skill. And with the advent of online universities today, there are tons and tons of new courses coming down the pipeline, thanks to COVID, because they've all reverted to online. You can take a degree, diploma, certificate, or whatever in a country halfway around the world, and they're very reasonable. Number 4, be aware of who you are. If I ask you right now, who are you? What would you say? Do you know yourself? Are you confident in relaying a compelling message to sell yourself to me? So what is your personal brand? What is your competitive edge? Number 5, be visible. Be visible on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. Be visible within your own industry environment. You are a product. You need to sell that product. And then the bonus today, number 6, is, and it's very simple, have an up-to-date ATS applicant tracking system friendly resume CV and a fully complete LinkedIn profile. There's another question just come in from Arash again. So Arash Pojam, let me bring this up on the screen here. How do you see future jobs setting changing? Do you foresee remote working as something that is here to stay, as COVID shows that it is a possibility for some jobs at least? Thanks in advance, and it was amazing listening and watching you. Well, thank you, Arash. I'm very taken with that. So now that's another very, very good question. In the next 9 months to a year, the world is going to transition, hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, is going to transition from COVID, out of COVID. Now, some employers, I know, will want you back in the office. This is a very, very interesting topic, a topic of conversation with the higher echelon of corporations across the world. It's also a topic of conversation with employment lawyers. So during the next couple of weeks or 3 or 4 weeks, I'm interviewing employment lawyers across the world on the legalities of an employer wanting to send you back to work full time or in a hybrid. So think about, it's going to be very interesting. The way of the world is turning, and nobody knows whether they can force you back or whether you can go into a hybrid model like Monday, Wednesday and Friday, or Thursday and Friday, or whatever, or whether you actually have to work full time from home or full time from your old office. So that's a very interesting question, something that's going to unfold in the next, I'm going to say, year, but probably a lot sooner. It's going to be expedited very, very fast, and something I am on, because I want to help people transition if they have to move jobs, because I suspect a lot of people don't want to go back in the office. But if you don't want to go back in the office, and a lot of employers are saying, well, you've got to be in the office, you are going to reduce your chances of employment even further. So it's a very, very interesting topic, something that's never, ever happened in the world before. Hopefully it'll never happen again, but it's all going to trickle down. It's all going to be sorted out, I'm going to say, within the next year or so. But bearing in mind, there's a lot of legal, doesn't matter where you are in the world, bearing in mind that each country or each state or each province has their own employment law. So you're going to have to abide by that employment law, and I bet there's going to be many cases going to court. Very interesting, and I'm going to watch this passionately, how this unfolds, because a lot of my clients are affected. So thanks for listening. Anybody got any other questions? If not, I will be back next Tuesday, number 53, episode number 53. And the topic of the Tuesdays at 2 next Tuesday is: did you know the summer is the best time for a job search? And as I look out my window here, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful summer day. I'm going to spend the rest of the day outside and enjoy this summer. But a job search is really good in summer. So please join me next week, Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. British Standard Time, and 8 p.m. Central European Time. Have a great week. If you've got any questions, want a free, no obligation resume critique, I'm more than happy to give it. And please go to my YouTube channel, where I have a wealth of knowledge, share of my wealth of knowledge in a bulk of videos and more to come. But please press the subscribe button. Thanks and have a great week.